News developments tonight over the federal government's attempt to mobilize National Guard troops to Portland. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Tim Gordon. Following an emergency hearing, a federal judge blocked the deployment of troops from any state to the Rose City. John Adams joins us from the newsroom. John, fill us in on what's happened today. A lot has happened today, Tim. Just in the last few hours, U.S. District Judge Karin Immergut granted a motion for a second temporary restraining order blocking the deployment of both the California and the Texas National Guard from responding to Portland. We know about 100 California National Guard troops had already arrived at Camp Withicum in Happy Valley. Now, this, of course, comes on the heels of a temporary restraining order being granted yesterday, blocking the Oregon National Guard from responding. Just hours after a federal judge temporarily blocked Oregon National Guard troops from deploying in Portland, members of the California National Guard were on their way to the Portland area by order of President Trump. 101 troops who were federalized in June landed in Oregon Saturday night. Another 99 were on the way by Sunday.
What was unlawful yesterday is unlawful today. What was unlawful with the Oregon National Guard is unlawful with the California National Guard.
As the California Guard troops assemble at Camp Withicum, state leaders then found out on Sunday that Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announced plans to mobilize the Texas National Guard troops to Oregon and Illinois.
Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa.
President Trump spoke about the situation in Portland Sunday morning, doubling down on his claims about the Rose City.
The politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening. And you've seen it. The place is burning down and they pretend like there's nothing happening.
An emergency hearing was held Sunday night. Judge Karin Immergut, who was appointed by President Trump, demanded to know how the move to send California and Texas troops to Oregon wasn't an attempt to circumvent her temporary restraining order issued on Saturday. At the end of the hearing, she issued a new restraining order blocking troops into Portland from any state.
She again granted our temporary restraining orders, this time a broader temporary restraining order, pausing all attempts to bring any National Guard from any state to the city of Portland.
Portland's mayor also reaffirming his stance that no federalized Guard troops are needed in the city.
This is yet another unnecessary and inflammatory attempt by the president to deploy outside troops in Portland where no intervention is warranted.
And in a statement late Sunday night, Governor Kotek said this ruling is another validation of the facts on the ground in Portland. It is also a clear and forceful rebuttal to President Trump's misuse of states' National Guard. The rule of law must stand. This is not just about Oregon or a handful of states anymore. It's about the integrity of our democracy. Now, in response to all of this, the Trump administration has filed a motion with the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for an emergency pause of the judge's decision tonight. The Trump administration said Immergut impermissibly second-guessed President Trump's military judgments. Tim?
All right, John, thanks for all the latest developments tonight. Well, let's take a live look now at the ICE facility on South Macadam. Our crew on the scene tells us in the past hour or so, they witnessed altercations and an arrest by Portland police, also the use of pepper balls and tear gas on the crowd by federal officers. Again, the Trump administration is using this area as justification for sending in troops. Today, the Portland branch of the FBI said they made 5 felony arrests over the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of arrests since June up to 147. And during a press conference earlier today, Mayor Wilson said they're also planning to file a civil rights lawsuit against federal police, DHS, and ICE for their actions at the facility. Yesterday, federal officers appeared to take a more aggressive approach to demonstrators, firing pepper balls and sending tear gas into the area.
Indiscriminate use of impact munitions to disperse an otherwise peaceful crowd. Indiscriminately discharging pepper spray. We saw a sniper on the roof of the ICE facility. This is not what we typically look at in crowd control or peaceful protests. This is an aggressive approach trying to inflame a situation that has otherwise been peaceful.
Mayor Wilson also claimed federal officers are trying to antagonize crowds who are otherwise protesting lawfully. Stay with KGW for continuing coverage of these protests, plus any further developments on the possible deployment of National Guard troops to Portland. Look for that here on air, on KGW.com, and on KGW Plus.